In Chivalry 2, the battle axe is the best weapon for kills, bar none, but that doesn't make it the best weapon in the game. What's going on, guys? It's Sean and Salami, and today we're using the battle axe on Escape From Falmire. The battle axe on Vanguard is one of the most fun loadouts in the entire game. If you're trying to go for the maximum kills possible that you can get, there is just no weapon that, in my opinion, comes close to the battle axe in this game. That doesn't make it the best weapon, though, so let's get into that. The battle axe that does insane damage. Like, this thing just shouldn't do as much damage as it does for how fast it is. The reach is the biggest drawback, so you're going to have to be practically face-hugging people when you're using it. The overheads are devastating, and they combo very nicely. You can catch a lot of people off guard by missing one and then comboing into the second one. The slashes, you know, they're just this typical axe. You want to drag them if you can against one player, and they're pretty quick, though, so you can be hitting and running a lot, especially on Vanguard. And the stab is just an axe stab, so that means we're pretty much completely ignoring it. Now, the reach really is a problem. That's what holds it back the most. And I think this weapon, if you only are looking at kills and not takedowns and what you're bringing to the team, I think its numbers can be a little inflated in that sense. It's so easy to get the last hit on someone and get that finishing blow with how much damage it does, especially with the chop modifier. And real quick, we're nice to all people on this channel, but archers aren't people, and he's just standing in the back, not helping me try and kill these guys. Take out your weapon and help me do the objective, bro. So he's going to go for a nice bath. But overall, I'd place the battle axe near the top of A tier, maybe low S tier. But I just think weapons like the Greatsword and Messer, and then specialized weapons like the Spear and Halberd outclass it and do things better. And then you have the War Axe that is a similar weapon with longer reach that fills the same role on the Officer class where you get the Warhorn. So it is a great weapon. It's a ton of fun to use, but I just think it's a weapon that's just going to have inflated kill stats, even if they're not telling the whole story of how you played or the impact you're having on the game. Nevertheless, there's nothing wrong with playing for only your kills now and then. And it's a great, really fun loadout to use on the Vanguard. Now let's get into our usual narrated gameplay and funny moments as we play this Falmire game. And we are going to get a little toxic in a bit here. So we get into it with someone. So stay tuned for that. The beginning of this match was pretty frustrating because not many people were defending the cart, and I was the only person defending the left gate, it felt like. I get really conflicted about doing the objective in Chivalry 2 because a lot of your teammates don't really care in pubs, they're not bothering. And it's interesting because if you do what the game wants you to do and play for the win, you can deprive yourself of doing a good map. So I have an upcoming video I'm working on where I talk about this on one of my usual gameplays. It's been a huge topic of discussion in the Discord. If you want to join that, it'll be in the pinned comment. I'm always happy to get games in with you guys. It's always a lot of fun. Playing Vanguard, you definitely want to choose your fights much smarter than this, but I do a good job in disengaging from that one and letting my teammates take over because that was unwinnable, especially when they're all using swords and I'm playing a class that doesn't get a lot of health.
For the iron bed.
And I swear to God, I never land sprint attacks with the Vanguard class. I don't know why I miss so many of them, but I would just never land them. These fights on the slope and the roof next to it are always pretty cool. I think it's one of those cinematic moments we always talk about that Chivalry 2 is all about. It turns into a nice 1v1 for a second, but those never last long in a 64-player lobby, so there he goes. I was pretty frustrated with how I started this game, and I died a ton in the first two objectives already, but a nice flank will always get your confidence up. Us gamers, we have dumb brains, and if we see that we got a kill, it doesn't matter how easy it was, we start to feel good about ourselves, right? So taking the easy layup kills like that is definitely a good way to get your mind back on track, because Chivalry 2, I don't know what it is about this game, it'll get in your head, and it's got a really big mental aspect to it compared to something like a shooter, say Call of Duty. In every clip from this game that's ever been posted on Reddit or YouTube Shorts, TikTok, whatnot, someone always has to comment, if they just kicked you, you would have died. Guys, it's not the win button. It doesn't do anything. Like, if you're fighting a good player, they're not going to fall for kicks. That's why I emoted no on him, because it's a little irritating when people think that'll work. But this is where we get toxic. This guy, using horrible fashion and heraldries on his character, is kicking and laughing my body after I died, after he's been farmed in this lobby for a few games now. And the reason I get so annoyed when you kick someone's body, if you're going to be toxic, say it with your chest, buddy. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't just teabag me or just laugh and do the emote. Kicking just feels like a half measure where you're not in, you're not out, so it's like you didn't want to commit to doing it. I don't know, this could just be a personal gripe I have, but either way, it is disrespectful, so we're going to go back after him. So again, just the damage on this thing is devastating. If someone's half health, they're going to die. It's just that simple. And we're going to laugh at this archer, assert our dominance, because he's hiding, he won't come down here until his teammates come. That makes a little bit of sense, but because he's an archer, we want to just make sure he knows his place in the world. I have multiple chances to back out of this engagement, but I keep getting greedy for one more kill, thinking I'll get away with it, and you'll never guess what happens next. So here's our friend with bad fashion choices. Now, he's trying to ore farm me with a ballista bolt. That's not going to work. So he's going to be our soccer ball for a little bit. He wants to kick me when I'm dead. I'm going to kick him when he's alive and teach him a little bit of a lesson. He's going to target me for the rest of the game now, and it's going to go about how you'd expect. I'll let you see it. We don't have to keep pointing it out every single time. So as we take this forward spawning gear up for the last objective, I would like to request, if you are enjoying the video and enjoyed it to this point, definitely consider giving it a like for me. It helps smaller YouTubers out like me a ton. And if you want to subscribe for my future videos, you know, I've got plenty of videos on the way, and the Discord will be in the pinned comment if you'd like to get some games in. We should be at 1,000 members by the time this video is up. But let's see if we can take down the VIP and bring home this win. So as we get a disturbing close-up of my character's dead face, we do bring home the win, and we got about 75 kills, which is great considering the game was not very long. This was a pretty short one, all things considered. I did die a lot, and if you want to check a video where I died a lot less, check the video on the screen now. Love you guys. See you in the next one.